Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sport. Make sure you check them out on the Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB to get all the good stuff they tweet out every single day, including the free swag home run calls, because we've been hitting those like crazy, including Bogman. We'll get to that in a minute. But also download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It's everything you'll need in the palm of your hands to build your winning lineups. And if you had the app, German Marquez was quite popular on the app today on most of the tools. Just going to say that he almost got the no-no. He got you almost 38 DK points. So go get the app. It's in the App Store. Well worth it. And sign up over at LineStar. You can find myself on Twitter at BD Endrick and my co-host on Twitter at Bogman Sports, the red hot Scott Bogman. How we doing, man?
I mean, I'm not red hot on everything because I think what I said was, the Pirates have been hitting a little. So I don't know if I want to go with German Marquez, but he was obviously amazing. I also did make the point of if you take those ones where he got knocked around away, his ERA is, right around 2.5 on the season. So he's having a great year and just continues it here. But yeah, I mean, I picked Kyle Schwarber last night and I said, I'm just going to pick Kyle Schwarber until he doesn't hit a home run. I love winning people free stuff. I want our guy Gary got a shirt today. So let's get somebody else another one. And spoiler alert, you guys know exactly who I'm going to take for the home run call today. It's not going to be a surprise at all.
I'm glad to see Gary win. Gary's been a loyal listener, at least since I've been with Joe doing this show, and I'm pretty sure before that with Meanie and Joe. So he's been a good listener to the show, so good to see him win some swag. And all you got to do, folks, is follow LineStar on Twitter, like I said, and retweet the home run call. We'll get to all that good stuff at the end. Don't you worry about that. But it was a fun day of baseball. Like, some of the pivots were great. Morton was over Gio because Gio was chalky. Gio didn't strike anybody out. That worked out. Maeda sucked. Caleb Smith was good. But up top, though, like Buehler's been good. The game's still going on, but it started out good. Woodruff was good. Ray was good. Like, they were all like whoever you paid up for pretty much, except Urquidy leaving with an injury right out the gate. That stung. And the Cleveland baseball team is the biggest set of pansies on the face of the planet because they waited for almost 2 hours with 0 drops of rain, then postponed the game for a storm coming in that literally dropped less than 1/10 of an inch of rain and is gone. So they could have played baseball in Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault anybody, but now it's going to be a doubleheader, and we're not going to have those games on the schedule at some point. It's just annoying. Like, I swear, dude, and you and I have gone through this on this show and the radio show and everything we do together, but if you're making a stadium right now, if you don't put a roof on it, I don't know what you're doing. Like, climate change is screwing with everybody. So, there are fires here. I couldn't see the mountains next to my house the other day because of the fires. So just put a stadium on anything you're building, for God's sake. I mean, of course I prefer outdoor stadiums, but if it's going to rain a lot, what are you doing? So let's get some roofs on these places.
It's easy. It's easy. Like, you can still see the beautiful nights, do all that stuff. But like, I loved it when, Minnesota is one of the worst for it, because in March and April, those early games, it's either snowing or it's raining and cold or some miserable thing. Well, like last week, it was beautiful with a sunset, and one of the beat reporters goes, "This is why there's no roof on this stadium. It's beautiful." Well, the next day they got like 3 inches of rain and got rained out. So that was very, very entertaining to me. That's called, like, dude, just accept it. Just accept it. But
open mouth,
I'm here for that kind of. Yes, I'm here for that kind of humor, folks. So we'll do that. But hey, let's get to it. Wednesday, we got a fun 10-game slate on tap for you. Make sure, again, you get the LineStar app. You will not regret it. But let's get cracking on this one. We get the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at the New York Yankees. Domingo Germán takes on Shohei Ohtani. Shohei's gone deep once on Monday, twice on Tuesday. We'll see what he does on Wednesday. The only thing is you can't use him as a hitter because he's pitching. But it's Shohei versus Germán, over under 9.5 on this one. Shohei's 87 on DK, 95 on FanDuel. Germán 85 and 65. Are you gonna finally join me on the Shohei wagon?
Yeah, I think, look, when I was going through this schedule originally, I was like, Ohtani in New York, not really my thing. Then I looked at the rest of the slate and I went, yeah, Otani's probably going to have to be in play. So, because there are just some questionable, there's some big names on the slate today too, but I don't feel very confident in anybody. I wish we could have split up yesterday and today as far as some of the starters go, because there were a lot today or a lot yesterday that performed well that we could have used on this slate, but it ain't the way it works. So I think Ohtani at that price is affordable. And I guess it's a decent time to catch the Yankees right now because they haven't been playing so well. So I'm in on Ohtani. I'm not in on Herman. He hasn't. I think it hasn't cracked 5 innings pitched in his last 3 starts. So pass for me on him.
Yeah, I like Shohei quite a bit, especially on DK. FanDuel, it's still in a question because it's 6 innings his last time, got you the quality start. 5 innings before that. He threw 105 pitches last time, which was great to see. But he hasn't gone super deep consistently, and you need at least the quality start chances on FanDuel. But on DK, $8,700, SP2, the Yankees offense as a whole, outside of just going nuts on Andrew Heaney, shocker, that they really have been kind of quiet. So if you want to go Ohtani on DK, I'm 100% there. Any interest in some of these Angels bats against Tremont?
Yeah, I mean, Fletcher has been hitting a little bit. If you want to go with Walsh, of course you can. But I think in this game, really, it's mainly Ohtani. And if you're not playing Ohtani, then you could go with Judge or Stanton if you want to pay up for them. And you are if he's in lineup is a good price. But I think mainly Ohtani for me. Not too interested in the bats.
Yep. Miami at Philadelphia. On this one, we got Poteet versus Nola. Poteet 69 on DK, 59 on FanDuel. Nola 10-2 and 11,000. Poteet has shown the ability to be a decent SP2 punt from time to time. Nola's an ace, but he's been kind of shaky as well. But it is the Marlins. So is Nola one of your top dogs tonight?
Yeah, I think once again, he probably has to be, but he's also priced at it 10-2 and 11. So he is very, very expensive. Like you said, he hasn't been as clean in June. He's not bad or anything, but only 1 quality start in 5 starts in June so far. His last start against Miami, he did go 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run with 6 strikeouts. So that was pretty decent as well. So I'm in on Nola. He is expensive. It kind of makes me out on Marlins bats. There is some PVB data against him if you want to play contrarian. 4 for 12 with a bomb for Jesus Aguilar, 7 for 26, which is only 270 average, but a homer and 2 doubles for Adam Duvall against him. I mean, Adam Duvall is never going to have a good batting average against anybody. And then guys on both sides have been hitting. Bryce Harper, Andrew McCutchen, Jankowski, if he's in the lineup at 22 and 2,000. Alec Boehm, 4,000, 2,800. Ronald Torreyes, 29 and 21. So for me, it's Nola and Philly bats.
Yeah, Boehm's starting to heat up finally. So there's some hope there. Rhys Hoskins went deep on Tuesday. I don't mind a little Phillies action. There's probably other spots on the slate I'd rather go to, but it could be a nice spot to attack some Marlins if you get to that bullpen pretty early. And Nola definitely is an option as one of the top dogs tonight, just based on the slate alone and a potential nice matchup versus the Miami Marlins. Seattle Mariners at the Toronto Blue Jays, and this one got Justice Sheffield versus Steven Matz over under 10.5. 10.5 on this one. Oh, baby. Steven Matz returning from the IL. He's 81 on DK, 85 on FanDuel. Sheffield, just pray for the boy. What are you liking in this game?
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield, 14 earned runs in his last 3 starts, pass. I understand Matt's a little, but I don't like guys coming off the IL. So pass for me on him. I kind of like Marcus Semien, 2 for 5 with a bomb against Sheffield. Taylor Trammell is hot and cheap, 25-24. Dylan Moore starting to warm up, 28 and 24. Mitch Haniger is expensive, but he's been hitting. And then, the usual suspects for Toronto, Vlad, Bo Bichette, Teoscar, Gurriel, Grichuk, those guys.
Yeah, Bichette and Semien both hit 3-run homers on Tuesday, so they're obviously live. But the usual suspects, as you said, are always there. If you want to differentiate, it's the Gurriels, the Grichuks, the bottom part of that lineup. But otherwise, you can play the main dogs up top. I kind of don't mind Seattle if you want to be contrarian, because I'm with you. Matt's coming off the IL. He was kind of shaky before he went on the IL. We don't even know if he's a sticky guy. Like, this could get real interesting real quick.
That's a good point, man.
he could because we haven't got to see his drop like over the last month like everybody else. So if he comes out there that first game, goes full Rich Hill like Rich Hill did on Tuesday night, that could be fun. So Seattle could be interesting if you want some value, like you said. Dylan Moore is heating up. Machanager's expensive, but Ty France went deep. He's got tons of power, especially versus lefties. Shed Long, like there's stinky power. I'm not sure I want to go all in on Seattle, but if you want like a small stack or a couple value plays, I don't hate it with Seattle on this one. Detroit at Cleveland. Cleveland. I'm so angry about this. And I want to be honest, I don't even know if it's going to be Peralta versus Quantrill because they might move Urania and Mejia from Tuesday to Wednesday. So that's still up in the air.
If it is Mejia, I'll go back to what I said yesterday. And especially in this slate, I really like him as an SP2 option, specifically on DK. If it's Peralta versus Quantrill, I'm not really interested in either one of them. Peralta is just a hard pass. But Quantrill, I kind of understand as contrarian, but his high pitch count for the year is 77. So if this is the matchup that we are getting, this one, bats, Eddie Rosario, Ahmed Rosario, any Rosario you want in this game, Ramirez you want, Jose.
Let me just slow you down here. Okay. The game's been pulled off the sites because it's a doubleheader now, so it's off.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, then never mind.
Yeah. I was looking at the MLB app to see who was pitching, and then I looked on DraftKings and FanDuel, and it is gone. So we don't have to worry about that one. Moving on.
Yep.
That sucks because I loved fading Urania. I'm so freaking bitter about this. You stupid Cleveland. Kansas City at the Boston Red Sox. We got Mike Minor versus Martin Perez. Over under. Oh my God, we got offense tonight, Bogman. 10.5. Like, this is great. We're not even hitting Coors yet. Minor's 89 on DK, 79 on FanDuel. Perez 65 and 62. These offenses have been clicking on the first two games of the series. Do you plan on them clicking again for game 3?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say I have you guys know because I've said it on this show a million times, I have like an affinity towards Mike Minor. So in his last start against Boston was quality, 6 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. So if you want to go with him as a SP2 contrarian option, whatever, I'm into it, but there's some PVB against him. I mean, JD Martinez is 9 for 16. That's a 562 average against him with a homer and a triple, 2 for 7 for Kike Hernandez with a double and a homer. And then against Perez, 7 for 16 for Carlos Santana, 2 doubles and a bomb, 6 for 15 for Hanser Alberto with a double and a bomb, 7 for 18 for Cool Whit with a double. And then, guys on both sides have been hitting. Renfroe, still cheap, still mashing, 36 and 32. Bogarts, 54. Devers, Vasquez. Ryan O'Hearn went yard tonight, and he's 3,600. Nicky Lopez is still hitting. So, yeah, it's probably going to mainly be bats. I understand if you want to go with Minor as a contrarian play, though.
Yeah, I could honestly see the argument for kind of going both. I prefer Minor over Perez. I want all the bats in this game, but on this weird slate where there's not a lot of pitching, I can see the discussion points as SP2 options. I wouldn't use them on FanDuel at all, like no FanDuel play. But I want the bats with you on this one. I want to keep riding Kike Hernandez. Bobby Dahlbeck had a couple more hits for you on Tuesday. He can always run into one super cheap and no one rosters him. Verdugo hits lefties fine. Just mix and match these lineups. And I always love going to Kansas City. You got Whit Merrifield again. Like you mentioned, he went deep yet again on Tuesday. Lots and lots to like in these lineups. So I like a game stack here. I think Boston's going to be the popular side of this one. So if you want to go Kansas City, be a little different, you can definitely do so at your own leisure. All right, we go back to Great American Small Park, where last night I said there'll be more runs scored in Great American Small Park than Coors Field, and I was correct. I think that could be the case again, but the problem is Coors Field's during the day, so we'll know already. But we got Cincinnati taking on San Diego. We don't have a total on this one because it's Joe Musgrove at $9,200 on DK, 87 on FanDuel, and Gutierrez returning to the rotation at 71 on DK, 68 on FanDuel. These teams are swinging it, Boggs. Are you trusting in the arms?
Not really. And this is kind of, like I said, we have some decent names on this slate, but I don't really want to go with Musgrove. The price scares me off. Great American Small Park scares me off. And he had a weird start against Cincinnati on the 17th. He went 7, didn't give up a run. He only struck out 2 and walked 3, though. So it's a good start. You know, obviously it still goes in the quality and everything, but only 2 strikeouts. It's just strange. And Gutierrez kind of had the same deal on the 19th of June against San Diego, where he went 5, gave up 5, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. So I think I'm going to stick to bats here. Joey Votto has a little PVB data against Musgrove, 5 for 16, 2 doubles and a bomb. Eugenio Suarez, 4 for 14 with a double and a bomb. And then, you know, guys that have been hitting, it's Nick Castellanos, expensive but been hitting. Fernando Tatis Jr., Cronenworth, Pham, Machado, Grisham. So I'm okay, but both sides are kind of expensive too. So I'm way more into bats, but I also get kind of staying away from this game because they're expensive too.
Yep, they're very, very expensive. I prefer the San Diego side against Gutierrez time and time again, but I can definitely see going Cincinnati. Like you mentioned, Votto, Winker went deep on Tuesday, so maybe he's waking back up. There's definitely some options. Casty's always in play at a downer of a night on Tuesday, but could jump right back into that one. So I don't mind going Cincinnati because people will use Musgrove on this slate just because they need to. So Cincinnati will be probably lower owned than they should be. I think it's a good game to stack, but I prefer the San Diego side if we have to go that direction. And for me, that always starts with cool, Mr. Rake Cronenworth. So that's one of my favorites. And Tommy Pham's on fire right now. So just don't ignore him either. All right. New York Mets at the Atlanta Braves. David Peterson, Max Fried over under 8.5. Peterson 75 on DK, 77 on FanDuel. Fried is 83 and 81. He's returning from the IL also. On this weird slate, Bogman, I can kind of see the argument for David Peterson.
Yeah, but his last start against Atlanta, I mean, it was on May 19th, and he's been better recently, but 4 2/3, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. I don't trust Peterson. It's just hard for me to trust him. So I'm not that excited about him. I'm more excited about Max Fried, but once again, I don't like guys coming off the IL, especially guys with blister issues, because, you know, if it opens right back up, he's going to be right back out. And, you know, we've seen this happen with Rich Hill many, many times. So, you know, these blister guys kind of get a bad rap, but I just don't want to risk it. So give me bats in this game. I mean, you know, they're expensive, but the Atlanta side is Dansby, Ozzie, Acuna, Freeman, Guillermo Heredia is cheap, 27-24, and really not many bats on the New York side, which would make me more interested in Fried. But Alonso and Lindor, expensive, but have both been hitting as well. So those are the guys I'm looking at in this one.
Yeah, Peterson will be one of the lower priced ones I'll go to just because there's not much out there. And the Atlanta bats have been just disappointing as I'll get up. They should be crushing people, and they're just not. So I'm going to roll Peterson. His last 3 starts put up some very good fantasy point productions, and that's all I really care about. So give me him, and I'm just going to pass on the bats in this game. I'm just going to move on and pretty much not do anything else with this one. But this next game I like, Baltimore at Houston. Matt Harvey, Luis Garcia. The Astros have been letdowns twice in a row against the Orioles. The Orioles bats went off on Tuesday, but it's Matt Harvey time. It's Luis Garcia. It's over under 10 Bogman. Garcia's 99 on DK, 10-5 on FanDuel. He crushed them last time out. I have no problem going back to Luis Garcia yet again.
Yeah, I mean, 5 out of his last 6 are quality starts. Like you said, he's been good. So I like him here, and which means I'm out on Baltimore bats, but stack the Astros against Harvey. As always, it's expensive, but worth it. Straw's actually still cheap, 3,000, 2,600. Correa, Jordan Alvarez, Yuli Gurriel, Chas McCormick's been hitting. So stack Astros and, you know, against Harvey, and Luis Garcia is one of the best options. So all in on the Astros today, but they're also going to be high owned.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very high owned. So differentiate. You mentioned Straws, the Tuckers, the Brantleys, all those kind of guys make things a little different, but love Garcia. Love Garcia on this very goofy slate that we have here. Minnesota at the Chicago White Sox. We have Bailey Ober versus Dylan Cease, over under of 9. These totals are ridiculous today. Ober is 57 on DK, 63 on FanDuel, Cease 97 and 82. If you need a punt, I have no problem going to Ober. This White Sox lineup is not good right now.
Yeah, you need an Ober jersey. You're in on Ober for sure. You're an Ober guy. Yep. I kind of like Cease tonight. There is
Ober everything.
I like to order Uber Eats and have food delivered to my house. But the with Dylan Cease, there's some PVB data against him, but we know that he's just kind of been different over the second half of the season so far. But Polanco's 4 for 9 against him with a double and a bomb, 3 for 8 for Kepler with a homer, 3 for 6 for a rise, 4 for 9 for Nelly Cruz. So that they do hit him. But I'm a little into him. But that price is expensive. Like if I'm going to pay that much, just give me Garcia. You know what I mean? So, but other guys that have been hot, Grandal, Tim Anderson, Brian Goodwin. Your Mercedes is starting to pick it up, and he's cheap again at 34 and 28. And Donaldson has been hitting too. So a little in on Cease, but like I said, Garcia is just a better option right now.
Yeah, Donaldson went deep again on Tuesday, and I like some of this Twins action here. Kepler's cheap, Urias is cheap, Kirilloff, Larnack, they're all cheap. Even Polanco, I think, is relatively cheap. You can mix in a Cruz or a Donaldson. I think it's a good angle because I think Cease will be popular based on the options on this slate. So I think the Twins can be an interesting value contrarian type appeal on this 9-game slate. It's 9 games now, folks. It's not 10 games because Cleveland sucks. But Texas at the Oakland Athletics wrap up our evening. Colby Allard, Chris Bassett. We have a normal total, Bogman. It's over under of 8. Allard 73 on DK, 74 on FanDuel. Bassett 10-5, 98. Bassett is extremely expensive, but I think he might be worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the Bassett guy, right? So this is my guy on this slate. He is expensive, but he's worth it. Last time out, 7 innings pitch, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts against Texas. I think he should probably get more tonight. Colby Allard actually hasn't been bad, but he's just too inconsistent to trust. So for me, it's Bassett and, Chapman. Elvis Andrus has been hitting. He's cheap, 33-21. Jed Lowry, 42 and 29. Gallo's been hitting too. If you don't want to go with Bassett, and it has a good track record against Bassett, 4 for 8 with a double and 2 homers. So that's kind of what I'm interested in is Bassett and Oakland bats.
Yeah, Gallo 2 more home runs on Tuesday night. The dude is definitely heating up, to say the least. Maybe that lack of spin is starting to benefit guys like Joey Gallo. So maybe a big hot boy summer Joey Gallo style coming your way. But I like Bassett a ton, 100% with you there. And then similar to my thoughts on David Peterson on this weird slate, Allard is an option in tournaments as an SP2 just because it's been inconsistent, but when he's been good, he's been very good for fantasy production. That's all you're looking for. So as long as he doesn't get blown up, and the A's aren't really blowing guys up right now since since they went to Texas, they've been kind of slowing down. I do like Chapman. I like some of these guys, but I don't mind Allard as an SP2 if you need to get a little different on this slate. All right, real quick recap, Bogman, who your top pitchers on this slate?
I mean, I think Garcia is probably my favorite, followed by Bassett, little into Cease, and Ohtani, of course.
Yeah, Garcia and Bassett would be my one. Yeah, Garcia, Bassett, Nola is how I'd rank the top 3 guys price-wise on DK. Garcia, Bassett, Nola in that order. And then you got the Ohtanis of the world, and you just kind of roll the dice on the rest of it. Where do you like him to stack this evening?
I mean, the stacks are kind of few and far in between, even though we don't like the pitching here. Philly against Poteet, I like. The Blue Jays against Sheffield is a really good one. The Astros, you can stack them up against Baltimore. And I think that's really it as far as stacks go. You got another one?
Yeah, that San Diego Cincy game. San Diego looks good. Watch the weather there. Watch the weather in Boston as well. That should be interesting. But I like Kansas City, Boston also. So you can take some exposure in those ones. And
at least we don't have to watch the weather in Cleveland, right? Like we don't have to worry about
sucks. Yeah, so they just don't worry about them. Yeah, you think I'm going to buy an Ober jersey? I'm going to get that hat from Major League with the tape over the logo that the guy wears in Major League 2 with my vest inside out. I don't know where that.
You're going to have to go to a vintage store to get that hat now. So
yeah, it's true. Yeah, cancel culture. But yeah, otherwise, I think obviously Houston's a great play. Minnesota could be sneaky interesting. You know what else is sneaky interesting, Bogman? The home run calls of the day. And you know how you get those, Bogman? You follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app. But before you do that, you go to iTunes and you give a rate and review to the podcast, or you watch us make our reactions to my bad jokes on YouTube. And you can do that, give a thumbs up, and like the show there. But follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app. and at LineStar MLB. And they will, like I said, tweet out the home run calls today from Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys. If you retweet them, you're entered in the drawing. 3 lucky fans partnered up with all 3 of us. If one of our guys goes deep, you get some free swag. There's at least 1 a night right now, if not 2 most nights. We're waiting for the 3-peat. The 3-peat will happen one of these days. But there's lots and lots to like on this slate, Bogman. So on this final day of June, Wednesday, June 30th, who was your home run call of the day?
I mean, can I even take Schwarber? He's not even on our slate.
He's not even on the slate, so you got to go out on a limb somewhere.
Oh man, that sucks. I just had it in my brain, and I didn't even notice that he wasn't on the stupid slate.
That big brain of yours.
All right, give me Jordan Alvarez. Anything against Harvey is great for me. Jordan Alvarez.
Okay, some may think I'm taking the easy way out here, but I don't care. Give me Vladito. Vladito going up against Sheffield. We're going that route. Like, Vladito didn't go deep on Tuesday. One may say he's due. So let's go that route. You're going to take Jordan Alvarez. I'm going to take Vladito. We'll see who Ryan Humphreys take. It's going to be a fun 9-game slate. Hopefully the weather stays out of the way here in 2 potential spots in Boston and Cincinnati. You know, that Ohio weather can be real tricky, folks. Really, really tricky. So make sure you watch that one. But check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at BDN. We'll be back with you guys on Thursday, but good luck.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.